You've seen it, right? Every time you travel, there they are. The same big-name hotels popping up in cities and towns all over the world. A Marriott in Madrid, a Hilton in Houston. How in the world do they get to be so everywhere? Well, today, we're pulling back the curtain on the powerful business model that makes this whole global empire possible. I mean, think about it. It seems almost impossible for one company to build, own, and operate thousands of properties across countless countries. But the secret isn't actually in owning everything. No, it's in a powerful blueprint that lets them expand at a truly mind-boggling speed. And that secret blueprint, it's something called franchising. The easiest way to think about it is like this. A massive brand, say Marriott, has perfected the recipe for a successful hotel. You know, the branding, the booking system, the service standards, the whole shebang. They then license that recipe to a local entrepreneur who puts up the money and actually runs the place. They bake the cake. It's a simple idea, really, but one that completely changed the face of global travel. All right, so let's dive into this global hotel blueprint. We're going to explore exactly how this model allows these giant brands to build a worldwide presence, almost like they're putting down bricks in every corner of the map. So who exactly is using this model? Well, pretty much all the titans of the industry. Marriott, Hilton, Accor, IHG, you name them. And for these guys, franchising isn't just one strategy they use, it is the core strategy for growing around the world. And when you think about it from the brand's perspective, it's brilliant. It's a fantastic way to slash the risk. You don't have to put up millions and millions of dollars to build a new hotel in a market you don't fully understand. Instead, a local partner brings the cash and, just as importantly, the local market know-how. And just like that, the brand gets to plant its flag in a brand new location. Okay, next up, the engine of growth. Because this blueprint doesn't just build hotels. It fires up this incredibly powerful engine that drives both economies and tourism. Let's take a look at how that works. The whole thing really boils down to one crucial word: trust. When you book a room with a brand you recognize, you have a pretty good idea of what you're going to get, right? That predictability, that consistency, it gives us travelers the confidence to go out and explore new places. And that's the very foundation of global tourism. And this creates this beautiful feedback loop. The brands win because they get to expand with way less risk. The local economies win because they get new investment and new jobs. And we, the travelers, win because we get a consistent, trusted experience wherever we go. It's designed to be a win-win-win. Let's break that economic fuel down a little more. Franchising brings in a wave of new money. It creates direct jobs, from the front desk staff to the housekeepers, but also a whole chain of indirect jobs for local food suppliers, tour operators, you name it. Governments love it because they see a nice boost in tax revenue. And the brands? They get to run what's called an asset-light model, which just means they're making steady income without having to actually own all the buildings. What all this creates is something economists call a positive multiplier effect. Basically, the money a tourist spends at the hotel doesn't just stop there. That money is used to pay local employees, who then spend it at local shops. It's used to buy from local suppliers, who then pay their own workers. That money just ripples out, supporting an entire ecosystem of businesses in the community. But, and there's always a but, isn't there? This brings us to our next section: cracks in the foundation. Because a blueprint that looks absolutely perfect on paper can start to show some serious challenges when you try to build with it all over the world. Remember that powerful engine we were just talking about? Well, it turns out it's not flawless. The very thing that makes franchising so effective, its incredible, massive scale, is also what creates its biggest weaknesses. And here's the core problem. On the one hand, the brand promises every single customer the same high-quality experience, no matter where they are in the world. But on the other hand, the reality is that the service is actually being delivered by hundreds, sometimes thousands, of different independent owners. Trying to keep that quality standard locked in across the board is a huge challenge. And all it takes is one bad experience to sour someone on the entire brand. And there are other hidden costs too. A single franchisee messing up can turn into a global PR nightmare. And those franchise fees we mentioned, they can mean that profits are actually flowing out of the local economy and back to corporate headquarters. And then there's the cultural risk, the risk of what you might call hotel beige, where every place, from Tokyo to Toronto, starts to feel exactly the same, losing its unique flavor. This brings up a really critical point for the travel industry. I mean, why do we travel? We travel to experience something new, something authentic, right? So if every hotel feels identical, does the destination start to lose a bit of its unique magic? It's a really delicate balancing act between the comfort of something familiar and the thrill of something authentic. So, where does all this leave us? Let's get to our final section, the final verdict. After looking at the incredible growth and the pretty serious challenges, what's our takeaway on this global hospitality blueprint? It's not a simple case of good or bad. The model itself is really just a tool. Its impact, whether it's positive or negative, depends entirely on how it's used. It's a constant, tricky balancing act between global standards and local realities, between corporate profit and community benefit. So let's just recap. On one side, the positives are undeniable. Massive global expansion, fresh investment, more jobs. But on the other side, the challenges are just as real. Keeping quality high, making sure the economics are fair for everyone, and adapting to local cultures. For it all to work, it really seems to demand strong ethical governance from everybody involved. So here's the bottom line. For franchising to be a truly sustainable force for good, it has to be managed responsibly. That means brands have to enforce their quality standards, franchisees have to be treated fairly, and the benefits, the real economic benefits, have to be shared with the local communities that make it all possible. And that leaves us with one last big question. As travelers, what do we really value more? The comfort of a predictable, consistent experience, or the unique, sometimes messy, but totally authentic character of a place? It's the trade-off that kind of defines modern travel. Definitely something to think about on your next trip.